PBS, a Valley tradition since 1946. Over 200 acres of Arizona-grown trees, citrus, and palms. Complete custom design and installation. And Whitfield Nursery still does the digging. WhitfieldNursery.com.
Hi, I'm Alberto Rios. This week on Books & Company, Laird Barron, talking about his novel, Blood Standard.
My agent actually threw down the manuscript. There was a point where she was appalled. It was a tough scene.
Tonight at 7:30 on Arizona PBS. Explore new ideas and new worlds here on Arizona PBS, a community service of Arizona State University.
Programs on Arizona PBS are funded in part by a gift from the estate of Winifred Gegg. For more information on how to include Arizona PBS in your estate plans, call 602-496-8888.
Coming up next on Arizona PBS, Life and World.
I'm Judy Woodruff. This Monday, watch the PBS NewsHour at a special time, 5 p.m. So Arizona PBS and the Arizona Republic can bring you the live debate between Martha McSally and Kyrsten Sinema as they vie for a seat in the United States Senate. With just 3 weeks until Election Day, this will be the only debate between these candidates in a Senate race that will have the eyes of the nation watching. The debate for the U.S. Senate, Monday at 6, only on Arizona PBS.
Support for Arizona PBS comes from viewers like you and from
Deanne Griebel, now with Moores and Cabot Investments, serving investors since 1890, proudly supports quality programming on 8 Arizona PBS, 480-725-9602.
Support comes from Citizens Clean Elections Commission, your source for unbiased voter information. Watch an upcoming debate and vote informed this election. Visit azcleanelections.gov/debates for dates and ways to watch.
From the Cronkite Studios in downtown Phoenix, this is Cronkite News.
The countdown is on for gubernatorial candidates David Garcia and incumbent Governor Doug Ducey. Coming up on Cronkite News, we look at their plans to improve Arizona's education system.
Plus, a new partnership between the state, universities, and Intel to pave the way for self-driving cars in Arizona.
I expect the fatality count to climb today and tomorrow.
And on the East Coast, as Hurricane Michael sweeps through, what plans does FEMA have to protect Florida residents?
Cronkite News starts now.
Good evening and welcome to Cronkite News on Arizona PBS. I'm Gabriella Becerra.
And I'm Andre Sims. Thank you for joining us.
The countdown to Election Day, candidates are stumping for votes around the state. Reporter Tanaya Williamson sat down with gubernatorial candidate David Garcia and incumbent Governor Doug Ducey to talk about their campaigns.
Election Day is in less than a month, and now that voter registration is closed, the only thing left to do is
get out there and vote.
Candidate David Garcia believes that it is now up to the people to decide what the end results will be.
The people of Arizona have the power to influence this state. The question is whether they believe they've got that power.
I mean, the person with the most votes wins. I think we have a winning agenda.
Incumbent candidate Governor Doug Ducey believes that he and his team have just what the people of Arizona are looking for.
From economic growth and development to entrepreneurship to focusing on outcomes and results inside our school, in addition to having a government that works and a reputation that we're proud of in the state of Arizona.
Arizona's Election Day is on November 6th. And according to a new survey by Data Orbital, candidates Doug Ducey and David Garcia are just 7 points away from one another in the polls. Opponents Garcia and Ducey have not always seen eye to eye.
A lot of negativity out there, and that's unfortunate. And it's unfortunate because what I believe that does is it sours people to participating in the electoral process, and that suppression has a real impact on making sure that we have the voice of Arizona heard on November 6th.
Part of a campaign is so you communicate with voters and you differentiate yourself versus your opponent. That's what my campaign's been about. That's what Fact Check Garcia is about.
However, the one thing they can agree on is a desire to change education in the state of Arizona.
Well, I believe the biggest issue in Arizona is education. We want our kids, the 1.1 million school children in our public education system, to have an education of value so that they can go out to the marketplace.
We've got teachers that are looking to change leadership in Arizona, so they recognize that they need folks at the legislature and in the governor's office who are going to trust them, respect the teaching profession, and be committed to their work.
In Phoenix, Tanaya Williamson, Cronkite News.
Another closely watched race, the fight for Senator Jeff Flake's seat. You can watch Martha McSally and Kirsten Sinema debate here on Arizona PBS Monday at 6 p.m.
New self-driving cars are coming to Arizona. Governor Doug Ducey recently signed an executive order to build a massive new research facility. The site will be used to test the safety of self-driving cars. The tech company Intel has joined the project, along with all 3 of Arizona's major public universities.
Toyota is recalling more than 168,000 vehicles because of an airbag problem. The issue was found in Tundra pickup trucks from 2018 and 2019, as well as Sequoia SUVs and 2019 Avalon sedans. The company says the software in the new vehicles may accidentally prevent airbags from inflating in a crash. Toyota has not said if the issue has led to any injuries. The company says it will notify owners of the cars with the problem and dealers with the update the software. The recall is expected to start October 22nd.
Stocks stopped their slide today after a rough 2 days on Wall Street. The Dow plunged over 500 points on Thursday after closing more than 800 points lower on Wednesday. The Dow regained 287 points, but it's still ending on the biggest weekly loss in 6 months. Other major indexes lost about 4% for the week as well. Analysts say rising interest rates are to blame, causing investors to worry about a slowdown in the economy.
In the southeast, Hurricane Michael has now been downgraded to a tropical storm, but it continues to move north and bring flooding to Virginia and the Carolinas and leaves the Florida panhandle devastated. FEMA officials now estimate more than 900,000 homes and businesses in the southeast are without power. Footage from areas hit hardest show entire neighborhoods flattened by the storm. In Bay County, Florida, some hospitals and nursing homes were badly damaged. National Guard troops are still working to rescue people. Rescue officials say it is still not safe to return home for those who have evacuated. In the Pacific, the remnants of Tropical Storm Sergio are now moving toward Arizona.
Matt, how are we going to feel it here in the next couple days?
Well, guys, the good news is, unlike the remnants of Rosa, which came through a few weeks ago, the remnants of Sergio will not bring as much rain to the valley, as most of the showers and thunderstorms will be isolated. But there will be some gusty winds and localized flooding and cloud cover throughout the day tomorrow. As you can see, the bulk of the storms in the morning down in the Casa Grande and Safford areas down south, and also up north near Sedona and Prescott, and they'll remain scattered throughout the day, Saturday into Saturday evening and early Sunday. But here in the valley tonight, if you're going to see some football, there will be cloud cover, 75 degrees at kickoff, and temperatures will remain in the low 70s throughout the evening, and that's really where they're going to hit highs for tomorrow. 72 down in Casa Grande, 74 here in Phoenix. Up north, obviously a little bit cooler, 60 in Payson, 54 in Flagstaff. But down on the western side of the state, 79 in Lake Havasu City, 81 down in Yuma, the high point for the state tomorrow. Taking a look at your 7-day forecast, after the storms roll through, the temperatures will remain in the mid-70s throughout the early parts of next week, but the temperatures will roll into the 80s as the days go by. From the Cronkite Weather Center, I'm Matt Kling.
The Diamondback season hasn't been over long, but there's already a big change coming to Chase Field. Our reporter Matt Lively has the details.
While the Arizona Diamondbacks are looking to field new players this offseason, it'll be a certainty that the team will be fielding, well, a new field for next season. The team announced today that they'll be installing synthetic grass. It's called the Batting 1000 Natural Turf, and it's designed specifically for baseball. Team president and CEO Derek Call cited performance and health benefits as part of the reason for making the switch. And hey, it's good news for fans looking to keep cool as well. Because of the new turf, during those hot summer months, the roof up above will stay closed. In Phoenix, Matt Lively, Cronkite News.
The Phoenix Suns are facing national criticism after a last-minute firing of general manager Ryan McDonough. With the season opener on the way, the team's vice president addressed these issues. 38-year-old James Jones is now the interim GM of the team. From the hardwood to the front office, the 14-year NBA veteran and 3-time champion is climbing fast through the ranks. Despite his new role, Jones is not focused on his new title.
Titles don't mean anything to me. The only title that matters is an NBA title. And if that means I can help this team in my current role or another role, I'm all for it.
There's much more to come on Cronkite News.
From a deeper dive into Arizona Proposition 305 to a visit behind bars to discuss the success of a drug rehabilitation program and the debate over Arizona's waterways and a species of threatened fish. Some of our top stories of the week just ahead.
On the next Arizona Horizon, it's the Journalists Roundtable. We will follow the money to see which political races are getting the most attention. And we'll preview Monday's U.S. Senate debate to be held here at Arizona PBS.
I'm Judy Woodruff. On the next News Hour, an exclusive interview with Al Gore and the latest global report on the threat of climate change. That's Friday on the PBS News Hour.
If you're looking for one show that tells you what happened that day in the world of business, it's NBR.
We saw a classic shipwreck.
Nordstrom's opening stores.
Triple-digit gains.
Crude climbs.
We're there to help our audience find new investment ideas.
The market still has room to go up.
Nightly Business Report is the longest-running business television program in history.
Weeknights at 10:30 on Arizona PBS.
Last year, the Maricopa County Sheriff's Office closed Tent City Jail and announced that the space be used to treat inmates with substance abuse issues. Reporter Micah Bledsoe has more on how Mosaic is impacting lives.
I feel freer today than I've ever felt in my entire life.
Christopher Thomas recently graduated from Mosaic. He struggled with a heroin addiction that left him in and out of jail much of his life. He's been in Arizona for the past 5 months, which is also the longest he's kept his sobriety.
Today, even though I am incarcerated, I feel like I'm the freest man in the world. I've been in chains and in bondage by my addiction and my pain and the torment that I was subjected to as a child for a long time.
The closure of former Tent City Jail saved the sheriff's office $20 million. $1 million was reinvested into staffing for detention officers for the Mosaic program. Now, those officers are able to help 700 to 800 inmates annually, compared to 350 a year.
If we can help drug addicts recover from that challenge and get them back to a place where they're healthy, the probability of recidivism is reduced, which means that they're productive in society, they're hopefully not a threat, and we're reducing costs in the jails, and we're also making the community a safer place.
Maricopa County Attorney Bill Montgomery chairs the Arizona Substance Abuse Partnership and says helping someone with substance abuse has a cascading effect.
Someone's underlying substance abuse behavior is addressed, then that's one less property crime, one less victim, one less scenario in which somebody has to take time off of work, has to make an insurance claim.
With nothing but his faith pushing him forward, Thomas says the jail in Maricopa is unlike any other he's been to.
Every institution, every jail, every prison needs a program exactly like this. Not one like it, but one exactly like this program. This program is phenomenal, and it's gave me my life back.
In Phoenix, Micah Bledsoe, Cronkite News.
Since Mosaic replaced former Tent City Jail, it has rehabilitated more than 22 classes of inmates.
Voters will determine a possible expansion of the Empowerment Scholarship Accounts program in the November election. But what is this program? Reporter Gabriela Becerra explains the difference between a yes and a no vote on Proposition 305.
The Empowerment Scholarships are more commonly known as vouchers. They provide families with funding to choose alternative educational services that best fit their child's needs, according to the Arizona Department of Education. A vote yes on Prop 305 is a vote to expand and make every public school student eligible for the Empowerment Scholarship Program.
Empowerment scholarships allow parents to take a portion of the funds that the school would have gotten for their child. It's only 90% of the funds, and to use that scholarship to help empower their children in an educational environment in which they can thrive.
Jenny Clark says her sons entered the ESA program at the start of the school year because they have dyslexia and dysgraphia and couldn't get the help they needed in their school district.
We use it to pay for qualified tutors and therapists and dyslexic specific curriculum for them.
The Arizona Department of Education administers funding using state tax dollars for expenses to be used for tuition, fees, books, and tutoring, according to Senate Bill 1431. A vote no on Prop 305 would overturn Senate Bill 1431 and keep the eligibility for the program as it is.
They're already going to the small group of kids who need that kind of alternative. And the other 95% of kids, the other 1 million kids in Arizona, are choosing to go to public schools. We don't want to cut funding from the choices that all of those people are making.
Save Our Schools Arizona spokesperson Dawn Penich-Thacker says the program would take funding away from public schools. Right now, the program is only accessible to students with disabilities or guardians that are legally deaf, blind, or on active military duty, students that are living on Indian reservation, attending a D or F school, a ward of the court, or with siblings already in the program. If the expansion passes, up to 30,000 vouchers will phase in by the year 2023. But if the current legislation stands, approximately 5,500 students will be added to the program annually through fiscal year 2023. In the Broadcast Center, Gabriela Becerra, Cronkite News.
One man's complex medical condition reveals a trend toward personalized care. Reporter Charisma Sandoval explains how one-size-fits-all prescriptions are giving way to treating patients as individuals.
Remy Marceau's case was rare. Doctor after doctor thought he couldn't do outdoor activities because low potassium made him dehydrated. It wasn't until he was 19 years old that he found out he had a rare kidney disorder called Bartter syndrome.
Syndrome progressively got worse at a rate that they had really never seen. And by the time I was 22, I was doing an infusion every day for 8 hours to replace my electrolytes and all of my fluids.
His diagnosis led to a unique result. Both of his kidneys were removed and 2 transplants were performed. He says all his doctors, pharmacists, and dietitian worked together to give him a personalized treatment plan that would help him return to the life he once lived.
Getting back to being outside, being active, working out, and doing all those things that a normal person would do, that's what I've looked forward to the most.
And doctors are saying the want for customized care is only going to grow.
We really try to look at each patient as a unique person, and we look at not only the science in terms of the clinical aspects of their care, but also looking at their mind, their body, their spirit, looking at like their relationships in their life, looking at like the broader context of who they are and taking a holistic picture.
According to Dr. Paul Andrews of the Mayo Clinic in Phoenix, tech-savvy patients are becoming more educated about their conditions before they reach out for medical treatment.
A lot of the people who are coming in now are very sophisticated about what's going on in their health, especially the younger they are and they grew up in the digital world.
Remy Marceau says medical care shaped to his needs made all the difference in his health, and he's on his way to recovery.
When you have that customized care, especially in a complex health situation where it's not just your typical flu that you get once a year, it makes a huge difference as far as communication, treatment, and just outcome.
In Phoenix, Charisma Sandoval, Cronkite News.
Several hospitals have expanded their facilities in recent years. The Mayo Clinic plans to nearly double the size of its Phoenix campus over the next 5 years.
Western states like California and Arizona will likely see an increase in large wildfires in the next 20 years. Families who lost their homes in those devastating wildfires in California are now considering where to rebuild. Cronkite News reporter Emily Four has a story from our Los Angeles bureau.
They're going to tell you, walk out of your house, you've got one little duffel bag, you lock your door, and you never go back.
Suzette and Tom Privitelli remember watching the mountains behind their Ventura County neighborhood being engulfed in flames.
But I could literally see flames coming up.
They never imagined the Thomas Fire, the second largest in California's history, would destroy their home.
It's the hardest part sometimes, like every now and then you just want to go home and you can't.
The Thomas Fire destroyed 1,063 structures in the Santa Barbara and Ventura counties. Unfortunately for those living in the West, a recent study predicts a rise in wildfires within the next 20 years.
Will we see California-type fires in the future? I don't want to be a prophet of doom. I'm a scientist, but I would have to say yes.
Donald Falk, a professor at the University of Arizona, used 35 years of climate and forest fire data to model future wildfire patterns. Falk says he found the years ahead will bring an increase in how much land will burn in the West.
And what we found was, first of all, that the seasonal climate has a really strong imprint on area burn.
That's because the West is experiencing longer fire seasons, which gives wildfires more time to burn. Falk says this is because of climate change.
So when we look at this increase in area burn, we're basically saying this is a climate change effect, and we're already seeing it with a very well-calibrated effect going back the last 30 years.
Falk says as temperatures and drought increase, the landscape becomes more flammable. He says most of the West can continue to expect, on average, bigger wildfires like the Thomas Fire in California. Despite this, Falk says the West is not an unsafe place to live.
We can certainly build and site our developments in areas that would be safe, that would provide ways to get out, and are less likely to be exposed to fire in the first place.
Meanwhile, the Privitellis are holding out hope while they wait to rebuild their home of 18 years from the ground up.
You can't live your life in complete fear. I'm not going to let this, ruin my life.
Arizona wildfires have burned over 150,000 acres in the past year. More than 1 million acres have burned in California, and the state estimates the cost to fight those blazes stands at more than $770 million.
Businesses on the Lake Pleasant Marina are finding ways to push on after a rough monsoon season. Sammy Giebers found out how they're coping after the storm damaged docks, walkways, and brought down visitor numbers.
When your business is on the water, you worry about the weather. So when monsoon season hits, it can also hit your bottom line.
That has done the majority of this damage, which has eliminated one whole dock.
Heavy winds, a lot of rain, a lot of heavy rain mostly. But we get a lot of heavy rains that come across the lake, and that's what causes a lot of damage as well.
So the drills are out to repair the dock after the harsh summer. But marina manager Chad Case says they've seen less people coming out to Lake Pleasant.
I'm going to say 10 to 15%. That's lost revenue for us. I mean, this dock in particular houses 100 boats.
There's been a lot of news stories out about the monsoons this season, and I think that's discouraged people from coming out a little bit.
But businesses are not letting a broken dock get in their way of a day on the lake. Normally, you would be able to walk or drive up to the marina. But now, you're shuttled over to avoid the damaged walkway.
There are unique challenges sometimes just to keep this running in a 7-day operation.
Found ways to work around anything that we've encountered because of the monsoons. We want people to know that we're still cruising and paddleboarding and renting boats.
A business on the water has its unique set of challenges. But whether it's by boat, kayak, or board, this marina is determined to keep afloat. At Lake Pleasant, Sammy Giebers, Cronkite News.
During the summer storms, some businesses had to close or take boats out of the water, but all of them say they're now operating business as usual.
Is it endangered or not? That's the question over the round-tailed chub, a type of fish native to Arizona. The Tucson-based Center for Biological Diversity is suing the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service for not protecting it. But the Arizona Game and Fish Department says there's no reason to worry. The species is doing just fine.
The round-tailed chub is highly imperiled.
Brian Suggy is the senior attorney for the Center for Biological Diversity. In August, the agency sued the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service for not protecting the round-tailed chub as an endangered species. Some threats to the native fish include non-native species of fish, climate change, dam construction, and development around streams.
They were at the point of a proposed listing. They've now withdrawn that listing because of this taxonomic uncertainty, with the round-tailed chub being redefined to now include what was previously known as the headwater chub and the Gila chub.
In 2017, the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service said new scientific information indicated 3 species were actually 1. Suddenly, the chub population increased enough that the round-tailed chub was no longer threatened.
It's really hard to distinguish the species. They look very similar. It became increasingly complicated when we were finding new populations of chub to know which they were.
Julie Carter manages the statewide Native Aquatics program for the Arizona Game and Fish Department.
We try to protect existing populations, start new populations, and remove threats.
A hatchery in northern Arizona works to repopulate the state's streams with round-tailed chub.
And we let them spawn naturally every year in this pond. We take out the young of the year in the wintertime once they're big enough to handle a pond harvest. And we take those fish out and stock them into Verde River, into either the main channel or into tributaries of the Verde River.
Depending on the year, hundreds up to tens of thousands of round-tailed chub are sent into streams. The Game and Fish Department says there's no reason to worry about the population going extinct. Regardless, the Center for Biological Diversity wants action.
We just want Fish and Wildlife Service to go back and do another status review and then decide whether or not to issue a proposed rule in a time frame that would be around a year.
The U.S. Department of Justice, which represents the Fish and Wildlife Service, has until next Friday to file a response to the lawsuit. A spokesman for the service said they don't comment on ongoing litigation.
A Phoenix artist has a contemporary sound, but is using an ancient instrument.
Sammy Giebers has more on a local indigenous artist and his take on the Native American flute.
Randy Kemp admits that when he plays the Native American flute, it doesn't always have that traditional sound.
I understand some people don't even like the way I'm playing the flute music now because it's more of that contemporary, fast-paced, very like, what was that? 6, 7, 8 flutes that I have to keep in rotation.
He's self-taught and uses the contemporary sound of this ancient instrument in his group's latest album. His CD is now nominated for a Native American Music Award, but not before its release was put on hold.
I actually flatlined. In 2016, I had a heart attack.
Kemp's daughter, Raquel, remembers those times all too well.
There was just so much stuff that was unfinished, and I think maybe that's what, that's probably, why he pulled through too, is the CD is, one of the things that he needed to do.
Kemp often alludes to issues natives face today in his music. And another problem, he says that he sees less and less people picking up the Native American flute.
It's thinning out. So I don't know what's happening, if it's because of the time involved that it takes to learn or having access to some of these flutes.
But he hopes that this ancient instrument that has been a part of history for thousands of years will continue to play a role today. In Phoenix, Sammy Giebers, Cronkite News.
Kemp's group Artificial Red is nominated for Best New or Debut Duo or Group of the Year for the Native American Music Awards for their work on their new CD, Res Radio.
Support for Arizona PBS comes from viewers like you and from...
I'm David Goldstein, owner of Biltmore Loan and Jewelry. We buy or loan on upscale assets. We have over 30 years of experience in determining values of automobiles, jewelry, art, collectibles, and antiques. For more information and appointments, biltmoreloan.com.
The Persian Room. Travel to another world, to a land of exotic aromas and period decor for a fine dining experience. The Persian Room in North Scottsdale on Scottsdale Road, 1 light north of Frank Lloyd Wright Boulevard. Gourmet exotic cuisine at its best.
I'm Judy Woodruff. This Monday, watch the PBS NewsHour at a special time, 5 p.m. So Arizona PBS and the Arizona Republic can bring you the live debate between Martha McSally and Kirsten Sinema as they vie for a seat in the United States Senate. With just 3 weeks until Election Day, this will be the only debate between these candidates in a Senate race that will have the eyes of the nation watching. The debate for the U.S. Senate, Monday at 6, only on Arizona PBS.
Explore new ideas and new worlds here on Arizona PBS, a community service of Arizona State University.
Programs on Arizona PBS are funded in part by a gift from the estate of Elaine Innes. For more information on how to include Arizona PBS in your estate plans, call 602-496-8888.
Coming up next on Arizona PBS, Life and World.
Hi, I'm Bridget Lancaster. And I'm Julia Collin-Davison. We're the hosts of Cook's Country. From the hidden history behind your favorite regional dishes to reviews of the cookware and ingredients that will save you time and money. We're devoted to helping you make amazing meals at home. So watch Cook's Country on Arizona PBS.
Support for Arizona PBS comes from viewers like you and from...
I'm Susan Linkus of the Linkus Group, a fee-based registered investment advisor specializing